All right, guys, this is episode 32 of the Sonic Road podcast. My guest today is author Becky Franzel. She is returning to the show, and we're talking about some of our most anticipated rock and roll albums coming out in 2026 so far. I don't know about you guys, but I've been having a hard time keeping up with all the vinyl purchases, and a lot of vinyl come into the house, and I hope you can say the same for your favorite rock and metal and alternative bands. We go through and talk about some of the favorite music that we've heard so far this year and some of our favorite tours that are coming up this summer. And hopefully we'll get to see more killer rock and roll shows and more albums coming out in 2026. We'll probably do another one of these episodes closer to the end of the year. So one more thing before I let you guys go. A lot of people who listen to this podcast are not subscribed. So if you're listening on YouTube, or Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, hit that subscribe button or that follow button. That's a great way to support the show. And additionally, pretty soon I'm going to be releasing a newsletter, so I'll let all of you guys know about that. It'll be free, and you guys can sign up at the link that I will provide. So I just wanted to update you on that as well. What this newsletter will do is go more in depth on some of these interviews that I've been doing and some deeper thoughts on some of these amazing bands and artists that I've been covering over the last year on the Sonic Road. So looking forward to that. Keep your eyes open. And we'll just get right down to it. Here's my guest today, author Becky Franzel. We're talking about some of our favorite music so far in 2026. Okay, just a real quick question. Did you partake in Record Store Day this year?
I did not. I didn't even know it was Record Store Day until I was at a show last night. And she said, Did you guys go to Record Store Day? And I feel like that's par for course for me. That's how I find out, is like at 9 p.m. at night.
Yeah.
And
no, I didn't. I forgot all about it.
I see all my friends posting like, oh, I got this and then I saw this person. It's like, another one bites the dust. How about you?
I did not. No, I was in the same boat. I almost forgot all about it. I don't know why. Record Store Day is not really in my algorithm, I guess, until a couple of days before. I have a little bit of a disconnect with Record Store Day. I think the concept's great, and obviously supporting independent record stores is really important, especially for these scenes that me and you love so much, and these bands and the record store owners. But I've always been a Record Store Day guy. Every day is Record Store Day. So,
Right.
And I kind of been reading some articles about Record Store Day recently, and there's some criticisms to it. The bigger it's getting, I think some of the smaller retailers are kind of getting left behind. And this is what I understand. I'm not saying I'm an expert at this or I know what's going on. And if anybody who owns a record store and wants to comment about it, hit me up or hit Becky up and we'll have a conversation more about this. But
Yeah.
I guess it's really expensive if you're a record store to get all the records for Record Store Day. And you have to buy them all, as I understand, and you can't send any of the unsold stock back. So it's like really expensive to get in. It's kind of boxing people out. So that was a bummer to hear.
Yeah. It's always a shame when something like that, like it's a net good, right? Like on the surface, it's the net good, and it's promoting like physical media. We both are huge fans of physical media. But then, capitalism does bad. There's like a bad thing happening, and you're like,
it's too much. You got to make it sustainable. I'm a capitalist for sure. It gets to like this peak capitalism kind of thing. Where
it's the wastefulness of it, I guess, is more of it.
That's right. Yeah, I would say. So no, I didn't go. It looked like there were some cool releases. I think Slomosa had one, as far as I know. Also, the prices. The last time I went to Record Store Day, some of the records were outrageous with the price. And I don't know if it was the store jacking up the price, but I was like, it's a one album and a regular sleeve, not even a gatefold, for going for like $65. It's like,
oh, holy shit.
It's come on, man.
Yeah. That's always such a bummer to see too, because with a lot of the bands that we both follow, like I would absolutely love to give them more money, like any chance. But I'm like, well, who's the money going to? I don't want it to go to the CEO of whatever company. That sucks. Like, I want it to go to the singer so he can do an upgrade on his house or something, right?
Yeah, that's right. Maybe the best place to do it is at the shows or go straight to the source. That's what I've been doing a lot. I've been buying the vinyl straight from either the record company of the band or the band themselves or their Bandcamp, things like that. So
it's good to see something like Bandcamp still chugging away, right?
Yeah, I think Bandcamp's still doing very well. And it's probably, my guess is in the next year or two, it's going to start seeing even more traffic and more money headed towards that. At least I hope so.
Yeah, especially with how much has come out about Spotify too. I know there have been a few like books coming out about how Spotify isn't necessarily the best platform, right? So I think people are like going towards that, and it's cool to see.
Right. Yeah. It's already in my mind as an artist too. I'm working with a couple of my good friends, two guitar players. We're starting to write music now. And I'm already thinking about what kind of ideas I want to bring to them as far as releasing. And it will hopefully, if they agree, it'll be more sparse on the Spotify side. We'll probably use that as a tool, but then use more of the Bandcamp kind of platforms, more artist centric. I think that's probably the way to go moving forward. So we'll see,
That's exciting. What kind of genre? What are you guys playing?
Well, I was in a band called Burn Blue Sky, which you can see the records behind me. For 20 years, it was pretty heavy kind of Sabbath worship with a big influence was like Down and Pantera and things like that. So it's pretty heavy music, but eclectic. As we got older and did different things, it would kind of zero in and out of rock and roll and heavy metal. So it'll probably land somewhere in that sphere. As we get older, our tastes are changing a little bit. So I'm kind of into that post-rocky sound, sort of the instrumental stuff. So we'll see what they come up with and what we come up with together. I'm going out there again in late April, early May. So we're going to do another writing session and see how it goes. There's no rules.
That's
so I don't
exciting. That's so exciting.
Yeah, but we have some material now. It's pretty bitchin', man. We have big plans. So we'll let everybody know as we move forward for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get into some records there's records on my list that have already come out, but they're brand new. They've come out in 2026. This is turning out to be an amazing year for recorded music coming out for a lot of rock and roll bands, heavy metal bands, whatever you want to call it, and other music too, alternative or just straight rock and roll. I'm starting to lose track of them. So I'm glad like me and you are touching base and to talk more about this kind of stuff because we want to support these bands as much as possible. But just to share so I can listen to some additional music that you're into and I'll give you some of mine. I'll start off and then we can trade or we'll share the space, Becky.
Excellent.
But one of my favorite bands, anybody who's been listening to this podcast for a while knows that one of my all-time favorites is the Black Crowes. So they released a new album. It's called A Pound of Feathers. And they did it in 8 days, right? They wrote it and recorded it in 8 days. Yeah. So basically unheard of in this day and age. There's definitely other artists that do that kind of thing.
Right.
They've always done that kind of thing. Their second album was done in a pretty similar fashion, recorded in a couple weeks, very fast and very live sounding. So Black Crowes saving rock and roll. They're the real deal. What cracks me up is that there's so many fans. They're a huge band. They are independent and they have been for the last several records that they've done. But there's a faction of fans that want the original lineup. And then because Rich and Chris went off and they just took the band. It is their band. Right. They wrote all the songs. So they're just like, they fired everybody, got who they wanted to bring in some positive vibes and they have their own story about it. But there's the old school fans were, it's not the Crowes without this guy or that guy. And I find myself holding back. I don't want to attack anybody online, but I do say things every now and again. I'm like, well, go listen to those guys. Like,
right.
Are you supporting their music? What are we doing?
Well, and it's also not like their music from that era is gone. Like you can still go back and listen to it. It's not like they wiped it from the internet, right?
Right. Yeah, and it's some great music, but they're gonna move forward and the music written and done right and done for the right reason. So yeah, very good. I recommend it to anybody that is interested in rock and roll, especially young people that have only heard the hits of the Black Crowes. They had a bunch of hits early on. And then they turned into this big cult band and they were releasing out. They have like 11 albums. So they've always released music, but it's not always been as popular, but it's been better in my opinion. It's better. It's a little less accessible in some of it. It's very psychedelic, some of it, and just a fantastic catalog. Go listen to the Crowes, man. Go listen to A Pound of Feathers for sure.
It's also a great album name for them. I love as a Crow bird fan. I love that album.
Yeah.
No, that was one that I was surprised to hear that in like mainstream conversations too, because like they're popular, right? But they're genre based, right? And that was cool to see, of like, especially for an independent band to hear, oh, have you heard this new album? It's an independent album and it's on everyone's lips, right?
Yeah.
That's always cool.
Yeah, very cool. What about you? What do you got?
Cat, are you familiar with Cat Clyde?
Cat Clyde. I'm gonna write these down.
Yeah, she's wonderful. She's a singer-songwriter, and she's got this amazing voice. She came out with an album this year that's just ethereal. So it's very pared down, but there's so much depth in every single word she uses. It's gorgeous. It's called Mud and Bone.
Okay. Got it.
It's beautiful. I'd highly recommend it. It's been fun to watch her rise up because she's always been a singer-songwriter, and it's been interesting to watch her find her voice through this. And I think she really nailed this one.
It's ethereal. Is it like folky or?
Yeah, it's more like indie folk, I would say.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been getting into a little bit of that too. It's, you know, it's close to
It's in the airwaves right now. And obviously there's some bad iterations of it. But the ones that are cool are awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I was raised on, like, my mom listened to Bob Dylan and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and some of that, well, Bob Dylan's not very melodic, but those CSY is, and Joan Baez and all that stuff. So I was all
I love Joan Baez.
Yeah. Joni Mitchell. So I always had a special place in my little black heart for that folky sound. But you said ethereal, so I like that sound a lot. And hopefully it's like really airy and
there's one song in there that has it's pared down 3 notes on the piano, do 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 do, and the vocals are gorgeous over it. It's highly recommend.
You said she's independent or she's on a label?
I think she's on a label, but I might be wrong there.
Right on. Yeah, great. Well, I'll have to check it out. And everybody go check it out. We'll get together and we'll put everything in the show notes too, so everybody can go find it. So going back to the folky stuff, for me personally, as a musician who plays like louder rock and roll, I remember back in the day when we'd go play a show, say in Columbus, to have a long road trip home, it was always quiet time coming back. So it's not like you play a big loud rock and roll show and then you're driving back and you want to hear loud rock and roll all the way home. At least that's not how I was. So we put on some more mellow things on the drive back. So that's how I use that kind of music to tone it down a little bit.
I think I've mentioned to you, I work at a venue that's usually hardcore, punky, metal-y, but I think it was like 2 weeks ago, there was like a folksy singer who came through, and it was like a breath of fresh air for everyone. And everyone was like, we don't have to wear headphones. Like, we don't have to wear earplugs. Like, this is great.
Yeah. You're like, take a little break, a little breather.
This is wonderful.
I remember back, Acid Bath is humongous now. But back in the 90s, they weren't at all. They were playing small clubs like my bands were playing. It was wild and cool. And we actually got to hang out with Dax quite a bit because he was in another band, short-lived. They did one album. It's called Agents of Oblivion. And that feeling was really refreshing because Acid Bath is so heavy and most of their stuff is really guitar-driven. They have some mellow stuff too, but it's so heavy and in your face. And then when Agents of Oblivion came out, it was just a really nice change because it was really dialed back. It was more rock and roll, bluesy rock and roll, real dark still, but they would come through town and we'd catch them or get to play with them or whatever. And everybody was just standing around the band and just clapping at the end. And it was, it sounds lame, but it was like a really nice change.
I love that.
Yeah, because the scene here back then was pretty rowdy. A lot of the shows is big mosh pits and destruction. So to have a band like that kind of tone it down a little bit was, pretty nice change of pace. But going back to the folk stuff, it's like, I like that dynamic a lot.
Yeah. Especially when it's like the storytelling folksy. That's always fun.
Oh, yeah.
Like story time. That's great.
Yeah. I remember, I sent you Jesse Sykes, didn't I? Did you check out that album?
Yeah, that's wonderful. It's a great album.
Isn't it good? So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Forever I've Been Being Born. That's a mouthful. But they're on Southern Lord. Everybody go check that out too.
Great driving. Great summer driving album.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, real chill. Okay, my next one, this has already come out as well. It's from a band called Weedpecker. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's their 5th album. So it's number 5. That's what it's called. Very good. Psych rock out of Poland. Some of their other albums are equally as awesome. I got into them during the pandemic. Strange name, though I will say that. And every time I say it to somebody, go check this band out, they look at me like what, dude? I'm like, yeah, man, it's a weird name, but the name and the music doesn't really match up. So I don't know if they were just being silly one day and it just stuck with them. But yeah, they are from Poland. They tour Europe a lot. I don't think they've been to the United States yet. I harassed them online. I've been trying to get them on the podcast. But they ghost me. So shame on you guys. I'm a big fan. So I'm going to shame
Maybe they're just intimidated. Maybe they're just trying to formulate their email.
I'm joking. You guys don't have to come on my podcast. Still going to buy your albums, but it's a great record. It's a psych rock record, really long songs. I think there's only like 8 songs on it. The album artwork's really good. You guys should check it out. It's on Heavy Psych Sound. So go check that out there. Hopefully, maybe we'll get them on the podcast someday. I don't know.
Wonderful.
Have you had a chance to check out Weedpecker? Check them out. They're cool.
I honestly, they've always been on my list because whenever I go to a show, I see a bunch of people in their shirts. I'm like, who is that?
Really?
Clearly like the same music. I just haven't.
Yep, you're missing out. Check it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they haven't come here yet, so maybe I will when they show up.
They might never come out. I've talked to a handful of bands from Europe, and either they're scared to come over for some reason, or they just can't because it's too expensive.
Yeah. And our venues, it's not the same situation with venues here as in Europe, right? Like it's a lot easier to tour in Europe versus here.
Oh yeah. I guess they're treated much better there. As far as, I'm not saying US venues treat bands bad, but
no, but it's more like you get housed, you get fed.
Right. Yeah. The culture is quite a bit different. We should start doing that here if we can.
Yeah.
But yeah. What's your next one? Got the pin ready.
So it's not necessarily an album, but I saw her last night and she was unreal. I've never seen anything like her voice. Her name is Bethlehem Shalom.
Oh my gosh.
And I guess she's, I know, right? But it was one of those where I went into it blind and the voice just like cuts. She's really hitting the socials right now. So she seems to be like up and coming. She opened up for the Surfragettes. So like a instrumental surf rock band.
Okay. Cool.
But it was unreal. She went on stage and played and sang a few songs with them, and it just clicked. It made sense. So everyone should check her out. She's up and coming, I think, unless you all know her and I just found out. But I'm going to say she's up and coming.
Same way with Jessie Psych. She's been around forever. And I'm like, first time I ever heard of her, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, I think because her new album is out on Southern Lord Records, which is a heavy metal label. So that's definitely got to be in my algorithm, I'm assuming. So it just came through and I was like, oh man, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, for sure.
That's when like the algorithm works, it really works. And you're like, oh, thank God. Like, I'm happy that I finally got this, right?
Yeah,
I think I got Benjamin Todd through an algorithm. I was like, how did I live before this?
Yeah. Weedpecker the same way. I would have never found them if it wasn't for probably playlisting during COVID.
Yeah. I think it was when YouTube used to be like the big music thing. I think that's how I found a lot of those. But yeah.
What does Bethlehem sound like?
Very 60s.
Oh.
But she's got this like smoky voice. I don't know how to describe it, but it's cutting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it groovy or is it just kind of mellow?
I'd say it's mellow. There's that 60s energy to it, if that makes sense, like a little bit of an implied thing, but her voice is so solid.
Yeah, it's like, I think last time we talked, I told you about the Heavy. Have you checked them out?
I have not. That's still on my list.
Very 60s vibe, late 60s. Very, again, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young kind of vibes.
Yeah.
Oh, the songs for days, but same kind of thing. Yeah, don't skip on that band. They're great.
That rules. Okay.
Not normally in my wheelhouse, but it doesn't matter. Like the songs are there and that's what got me. So, and it's a really good album too. So yeah, definitely.
It is interesting when people say like, oh, well, I never listened to this genre. Cause sometimes it's like, well, there's probably one good thing that you would like in it. There's usually there's a reason the genre exists because there is good music in there.
Yeah, hopefully.
You hope.
So subjective.
Yeah,
hard to
exactly.
say. Okay. My next one here is another older band, just released a new album. I don't have the vinyl yet because they have so many variants that came out all at the same time. So mine's not coming till next month, which kind of bummed, guys, but they did a really good job with it. Corrosion of Conformity, Good God, Bad Man. Oh my God, check that out. This thing where it's like this trope where like heavy metal musicians eventually go into blues bands when they get to be a certain age. Because it's kind of like the mellowing. You just mellow down a little bit. Definitely not the case with these guys. They're pretty damn fierce on this record. They've been around since the 80s and they've done a lot of lineup changes, but it has everything all encompassing Corrosion and Conformity, all the different styles that they played with it or on it, but it starts out pretty goddamn fierce for guys closing in on 60. That
rules. That's so fun. I love old metalheads. That's fun.
Yeah, they're grizzled, man. And, you know, like I said, this is all they've ever done. So, yeah, it's very eclectic, but an amazing record. I'm still diving into it. I've listened to it about 4 or 5 times. trying to wait for the vinyl to come to listen to it more, but I am streaming it until then.
Exactly.
But
So
yeah,
that is good.
yeah, check it out. The album artwork is amazing too, and all the different variants coming out are very cool. So Becky, I got to learn patience. It will come. It's coming in the mail.
That's the thing. Yeah, I feel like in the past, like 5 years, we've been programmed to like, oh, well, next day delivery. That's just when we get it. And it's weird going back to like, because it does make more sense to have to wait a little bit if you ordered it from across the country, right? Like it does make sense that it takes 10 days.
Yeah.
But
yeah, this is how it used to be. We used to not get things for like 5, 6, 8 weeks sometimes. So
right. And sometimes there's an argument to be said, like we appreciate it more. Maybe. Who knows?
You do. But you definitely do. The instant gratification thing is wrecking us. Like the single culture, as far as like single songs.
Yeah.
Such a bummer, man. Through COVID, there was a lot of that going on. And I was like, ooh, a band will have a new single out, and you'll click it, and you're like, where's the rest? Like I won't.
Right.
Like it was such a drag for a while, but I think bands are getting more back to long playing records. At least I think so. So, yeah, we'll see. I think that I keep talking to whoever I'm writing with. I was like, man, we should make a record and just sequence it as one song, so you can't skip it. So it's like a 45-minute song. It has all the titles and stuff. It's all different songs, but we just sequence it all as one track. So even if we got
like a Rush thing,
here's our album. Good luck.
Yeah, that's like doing a digital vinyl, right?
Yeah, right. Like you have to listen to the whole thing or shut it off.
Great, exactly, and that's an option too. But we hope not.
I don't think too many bands have done that. I'm sure somebody has, probably in the psych rock realm. Here's our one song. It's 45 minutes long.
Go up.
Yeah, we'll see. A man can dream. That's for sure. Okay, what's your next one?
That's very funny. I was actually going to say a single that just came out, but that's fine. It's really good. It's called "Joke for a Light" by Ian Vera. It's just a Milwaukee musician, sound tech, does all the things. It's just very good. It's not my usual genre, but it's fun and the lyrics are good.
What genre is it?
Kind of pop. God, I'm so bad at genres, and I don't want to offend him. Poppy, maybe. Rocky, maybe. Like pop punk.
Don't use poppy too much. I get yelled at. I've been yelled at on YouTube a couple times. They're not pop rock.
But there's nothing wrong with pop. I love pop, right? Like Britney Spears rules. Like she's a baddie.
Does she rule? No. I'm kidding.
Toxic is a phenomenal song.
Okay.
I will fight you over that.
Okay. Yeah. I hope she's doing okay. If you've seen some of the recent videos of her, it's kind of concerning.
Yeah.
Hope she's all right. I remember that era, like when those bands came out. Quick story. It was like 2000, I think. We were going to Cleveland. I was living in Akron or Kent at the time. And we were going up north to see Stone Temple Pilots in Cleveland. We're driving and we run into all this traffic, and it's like all these minivans with girls in it. And we're like, God damn, man, Stone Temple Pilots, man. They're like huge now. Jesus Christ. I'd never seen them before. So
yeah,
we get stuck in this traffic jam, and then we get up into Cleveland, and the traffic kind of splits off, and one's going to the arena, and then we're going to the smaller venue, which is holding 4,000 people, whatever. That's pretty good. And it turns out, I think the Backstreet Boys were playing the same night. Right. So it was like, that solved the mystery. We found that out later, but oh man, what an amazing show.
Those Backstreet Boys. Yeah.
That was that era. Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, all that shit. That was like ruling MTV at the time, I remember. It was a weird mix too, because MTV was playing a lot of the boy bands and Christina and Britney and all that stuff, and simultaneously playing all this new metal shit. Like Limp Bizkit and Kid Rock were all blowing up along with all these other pop acts. It was a strange time for music for sure.
A perfect time for Fred Durst, though. He's still there.
Yeah. And people started to hate Limp Bizkit after their blow up, and now they love them again. That's weird.
Brazil is wild about Limp Bizkit. It's interesting. They have a huge fan base in Brazil.
Yeah, and I saw them in like 98 when Faith took off. I don't know if you've heard their cover of Faith by George Michael, but we went to go see them, but Clutch was opening. So,
oh, what? Yeah. They just opened for everyone. Yeah,
they did. Clutch and Seven Dust opened, and those two bands crushed. I was like, what the fuck? It was awesome. And Clutch was still only had been around for like 5 years at the time. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Was
it
he
was
still a
awesome.
good frontman? Has he like built that, or has he been solid since the get?
Gosh, I got to tell you, we only hung out for like 3 or 4 songs in Limp Bizkit and just left because Clutch and Seven Dust at the time blew the fucking doors off the place. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good luck following those two.
Bill Clutch is the lead singer of Clutch. Has he always been like that phenomenal of a frontman, or?
Just a phenomenal band the entire time. I
Yeah.
think the first time I saw them was 96, open up for Pantera, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? And this is
Yeah.
great. I think
I didn't get it when I listened to it at first. I had to see it live and I had to see his energy on stage and all of this and that. And it's like,
Yeah.
I get it now. Like, I understand it. And now I love him.
My girlfriend hated Clutch because she never heard of him before, and I was like, check this out. And they're like, oh, she's like, oh man, it just it just sounds like too much like really aggressive, and it's dude rocky, and
It is Dude Rocky for
I just
sure.
don't
She's
get
right
into
there.
it. And I showed her a picture of Neil. I was like, see, it's just a dad. He's not scary. He's just a dude, right? She's like,
Yeah.
oh. And then she's starting to come around because they're undeniable, man. If you just play them enough, you're gonna start doing this. You're gonna be like, yeah,
Right.
man, let's go.
Well, and
Clutch
also
is-
they're so in too. Like all of the branding that's in their music videos is like they build a lore. It's just very cool.
yeah. And Neil is a great lyricist. He really
Yeah.
puts a lot of time into it.
Unreal.
Yeah, and I think he has a degree in something. I think history or something like that. You guys can correct me in the comments, whatever. Yeah, it's something like that. So he's a really good writer and a really good storyteller. And a lot of the Clutch songs he's telling a story. It
Yeah.
might be like sci-fi kind of feeling, but really cool, man. Great.
I remember when I first heard Sunrise on Slaughter Beach. I think I listened to that song like 40 times in one day. And it's just like, again.
Yeah.
Again.
That's one of the best ones on that record too.
God, I love that. I love that album, but I love that song specifically.
Oh, well, Clutch is on my list. So this just
Nice.
this just hit us. Like it's nothing new. It's a reissue of their album Earth Rocker.
Okay.
Came out in 2013, and that was pretty much their breakthrough album. That's when they exploded. They just got huge after that. And they're doing a reissue in June, and you should check it out on their website. It's fucking amazing. Like I'm not a collector of vinyl per se. I don't buy a lot of like rare things. I buy my vinyl and I listen to it. I'm one of those rare people. Some people don't do that, and some people do collect. I might get this thing because it's so fucking cool, man. Check it out on their website. I'm probably gonna buy it. Why not? I'm supporting independent business.
There is something satisfying about having that record, and you're like, this is beautiful.
Yeah, it's like I'm usually not a big reissue dude that way, but they've been doing a lot of reissues of their work, and they do a very good job of reimagining the artwork and everything, and that's what they did on this one, and it's really cool. I recommend everybody check it out and go pick it up if you can. So
Nice.
yeah, that was just a quick Clutch blurb there. I didn't want to talk about them too much because they are working on a new one, but I don't know when that's coming out. It'll probably come out next year, I'm assuming at this point.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can get those boys on the podcast and we'll see. I've talked to JP before. He's a great guy.
Oh, they all seem like solid dudes. Phenomenal.
Yeah. Just totally down to earth, very humble, cool motherfuckers, and some of the most talented dudes out there doing it for sure.
Oh, yeah. And they were road dogs for so long, so they know it, right? They paid their dues for sure.
Yeah, amazing story. We could go on and on about Clutch, man. Damn.
It's a Clutch podcast now.
We can do that. I can
I
talk
love
about it. They would get signed and dropped in the 90s. So they ran the gamut on the major labels. They would do a major label record, get dropped, get another major label deal, do an album, get dropped. And that's how they just kept that tour support going and just built this massive following over the years, man. Hard workers, man. Cool band.
I'm always shocked when a label drops a band like that because you're like, don't you see the audience? Like, they are having so much fun on this album you just dropped. Like,
it's the big baby Huey stupid part of the music business.
Yeah.
It's just completely dumb, man. I mean, labels used to develop their artists, and this is like mid 90s when this band's going through this, and by then that had changed. They were just whatever can sell the most records and do all that. There was really not much development in their time with the majors. So, but it worked out for them. So
yeah,
fuck you guys now. Clutch is
they
off.
seem to be doing great.
Oh,
he looks so happy on stage.
I took up a Clutch talking point. So what's your next one?
I think we mentioned it before, but I'm getting even more excited for the All the Witches album.
Oh yeah, well that's one of mine too. Of course, I wanted to talk about this.
Yeah.
So what me and you have been doing, and this is hilarious, is You usually start it, but I'll see your comment in one of their posts and we just start saying,
Oh, yeah.
nonsense. We start saying nonsense. Everybody join in. This is a fun way to interact in the comments to get that post going further. And we don't have to talk about boring shit. So,
well, and also like all the Witches fans are very serious too. Like I've noticed that they're very serious.
Yeah.
So it's fun to like kind of poke at it and be like, it's not that serious. Like they're very goofy dudes. Like,
yeah, for sure. Lighten up.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it is fun. It's fun. They've got such a rabid fan base. So it's fun to interact with those people because they all are like, well, did you see this tour from 2013 on this specific date? This is where I got this. And it's all very intense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for the new album.
This community is fantastic. And the All Them Witches fan pages on Facebook is really cool too. If you're not on that, go jump on there because they are serious, but everybody's also salt of the earth folks now on there.
Yeah. Maybe serious wasn't the right word, but very intense.
Some of them are. The bigger a band gets, there's always going to be this subculture in there that gets a little too serious about it. And a call back to the Black Crowes, they also have a fan base that's like that. I've been around since the first album, since I was 12 years old listening to that shit on MTV. But there is a hardcore faction of that fucking fan base that are, some of them can be downright vicious. And I've ran into them at some of at Rich's solo shows before where they are serious. And if you're not abiding by their made up rules, then they're going to say something to you. So that's a different story for a different time.
No, that's a bad version of serious. That's not fun. I think Rush fans get that too a little bit.
Yeah. It's a very small group of people, but the bottom line is lighten up, everybody.
Yeah. It's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be science. Like it's supposed to be really cool.
And I know we've talked about it, but the last couple shows I saw back in December, it was just like meeting. I went to one of them by myself and just bumping into strangers. We immediately started talking about the band and what we love about the band so much. And everybody starts buying each other drinks. It was like 20 years ago in that little community. It's fucking cool, man. Yeah.
And it's fun to see more people get hyped to them, right? And that, like, when I look in the audience, I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have thought you were an All Them Witches fan. But then you'll see them and they'll be mouthing all of the lyrics. They, like, very clearly are a fan.
Yeah.
And I love that. It's fun when, like, because a lot of these genre-specific artists can, like, their fan base becomes a very specific thing, right? And it's fun to see a more eclectic fan base.
Yeah. And I hope and pray that the album release goes smoothly and everybody gets their vinyl. And I would love to see another US tour in the fall because I don't think they have anything booked for the fall yet. So hopefully we'll get more tour dates out of them this year. That'd be fucking awesome. Let's go.
See you next fall.
Yeah.
Get it?
So we'll talk again hopefully when that comes out. That'd be cool to have All Them Witches podcast. So I would like to get one of the guys on. We'll see. They're so elusive. I know we talked about this before.
Those guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of trickery, cryptic, and some of that stuff. I wish they'd lighten up a little bit and talk to the fans a little more. But that'd be my
imagine them having to like use a rotary to get on the internet. So like maybe it's just really hard for them. Who knows?
Or maybe they don't need to. They don't have to do it.
Exactly.
I mean, as the artist in me, like struggles with that part too. It's like, would I if I had to? I don't know. So
yeah,
we're just saying this out of love, guys. But definitely.
Yeah.
Let's jump on. Let's have a call sometime.
I'm not saying it out of love. I'm just kidding.
We'll talk more after that record comes out. Let's try that.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get Christian on at least, or Ben. Ben actually has his own YouTube page, and he interviewed Sean from King Buffalo not too long ago. It's like, oh, this is what you're doing. You're doing your own podcast. All right, I'm listening.
Idea thief.
They should. It's a smart thing to do, and it's fairly easy.
Well, and especially with how many people Ben has recorded too, right?
Yeah.
It's cool to get his perspective on like when he did the Handsome Jack album.
Yeah.
Seeing how he set up the mics and that video they made about it was fun. It was fun to see like, oh, that's how you set up the mic in the room, right? And that's why you do it.
I haven't seen this. I'm going to have to check this out.
I'll send it to you after. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Another one of our guys, we talk about Handsome Jack all the time. But their album Barn Burners came out. We've talked about them a lot, and we're going to keep talking about them.
Who's Handsome Jack? I don't know.
Honestly, I thought I heard them from you, but maybe not. I don't know.
No, they're fun. They're great. Barn Burner is a banger. It's one of those where it's fun to give to people, right? Because I think everyone I've shown likes it.
Yes. Yeah. We got to get them an audience in America, a bigger audience anyway. They have a hardcore fan base, but it's small and it's kind of spread out. So
Yeah.
I'm
Apparently
spread word.
they have a big fan base in Australia. So
Oh my God. That's so hard to get to
I
Australia.
know exactly. Like, why? That's awesome, but why?
Well, I'm sure they'll be touring sporadically throughout the United States, and they're going to Europe in I think August. I think JMO told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see about that. But more to come on Handsome Jack for sure. So we shared that one, All Them Witches, of course. House of Mirrors coming out at the end of May. If you guys aren't hip, go do a pre-order or sign up to their mailing list. That helps out too. Or follow them on Instagram, I guess. We could get into the Instagram thing, but another time. I did get the new Elder album. I got it sent to me. It's so good.
Yeah.
It grows on you. They're a band that you got to listen to quite a few times, and then it just sinks into your psyche and it never leaves. They're so good. It's such a good band and a good bunch of dudes too. I've talked to them on this show once before, a few months back. And I think Nick is coming back on the show next week. So we're going to talk about their new album called Through Zero. It's out May 29th. Absolutely excellent. They're getting better as they age. I can't believe this band's been around for almost 20 years. It's pretty wild, but time doesn't make any sense anymore. I have to like put reminders in my phone constantly because it's just going by so quickly. So couldn't be more thrilled that these guys are doing a new record. It's been a while. I think it's been 3 years since Innate Passage came out, which was at the time their #1 masterpiece, in my opinion. It's such a good record too. So are you an Elder fan? Have you checked them out?
That's another one where like I just keep seeing the shirts at shows I go to and I think, oh, well, I have to check out Elder. But then when I do, it's like what you mentioned where like I'm not really feeling it right now and you have to sit down and listen to it.
You do. Know? Yeah, like a song that has to catch you. Try Innate Passage, their last full length. And then the one before that was a Gold and Silver Sessions. It's only 3 songs, but I think it's like 500 hours long. It's fucking cool. But it's
I'm such a sucker for that.
Yeah, it's mostly instrumental. And I think it's all instrumental actually, but that's very good too. Ambient psych rock. Very, very cool. So yeah, that's on my list. Can't wait. May 29th, that thing comes out, I believe. So yeah, pre-order that. Follow Elder. We'll leave a link in the description so you guys can check that out if you want to. So what's your next one?
I'm running low now. I'm starting to run low.
Okay. I got some.
How about you? Yeah.
I'm going to run through some of these. Okay. Me and you talked about Fortune Child.
Yeah.
Offline. They just released a new one, just a little 3-song EP called Trio. These guys are sneaky, man. They'll just, here's some new stuff. They sneak it up on you. There's not a lot of build up. They throw a lot of output out there, but it's usually shorter kind of EP kind of platforms. That's 3 bangers. It's called Trio. It's out now. You guys can check that out. Kind of blues based a little bit, just standard rock and roll, but
he's got such a good voice. It's unreal. It's so good.
Yeah, Fortune Child is Christian Powers, plays drums and sings from All Them Witches, sings and plays drums in Fortune Child. Yeah, he's an amazing singer. Cool guy too. Really had some big shoes to fill in All Them Witches and doing a great job. He's going to be on the new All Them Witches album. So that was one on the list. Check out Fortune Child. I'm sure there's more to come from them. They did actually open for the Black Crowes. Oh God, was it 2 years ago now? And they had a chance to tour with them in the US. So
that's cool.
Cool to see. Yeah.
I'm always amazed when people juggle 2 big bands like that, right? Like All Them Witches, they're tour dogs. And it seems like Fortune Child are similar, right?
Yeah, well, I think since he's joined All Them Witches, it seems like Fortune Child is doing cluster shows here and there. But yeah, busy, man. I don't know how you do 2 bands, 2 touring bands. That's impressive for sure.
Yeah.
What about, I got a question for you. What about the Black Keys? Do you like the Black Keys at all?
I used to be. I was a huge fan of them in high school, and then I kind of just dropped off. That first album is phenomenal. But past that, I didn't really listen to them. But I heard the new one is good.
It seems good. There's 2 really good singles on it. That also comes out in May. These guys have been putting out some records over the last 5 years. I think they've done 4 since then. But they did one a couple years ago called Delta Cream, which is a return to their roots, like that first album, like you were saying. A lot more stripped down. Most of it is blues covers, if not all of it. It's completely excellent. You should go check that out. If you like the first album, check out Delta Cream. But it seems like this new album called Peaches is taking it's taking that another step further. So they're going back to their roots because they do a lot of different styles of music these days. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. I hope it's when it comes out, it's going to be killer. I'm probably going to buy the vinyl just to support, but that'll be like one of the shows I'm going to try and check out this summer too. I haven't seen the Black Keys since around 2007, and they were from where I'm from.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Which is Akron, Ohio. And yeah, we used to see them in small clubs, and I always used to run into those dudes. And I actually just ran into Dan. I didn't say anything to him because he was with his family, but I think 2 summers ago, me and my girlfriend were walking down the towpath in the CVMP in the Cuyahoga National Valley, and Dan walked right by us. And I was like, damn it. And he was with his kid. I think he was with kids and stuff, so I didn't want to bother him. But I told her, I was like, yeah, that's Dan from the Black Keys. So I've run into him like that quite a few times over the last 20 years or so. But yeah, man, always been a supporter of them. But I saw them, I've only seen them once. When was that? 2007. It might have been 2008. Everybody's checking me on dates now. These memories are not always perfect. The year can get a little blurry after so much time, but they were playing at the Cleveland Agora. It was one of their biggest shows at the time because they were just starting to blow up. And it was sponsored by Camel cigarettes.
Awesome.
They were giving free packs of Camel cigarettes at the door if you're of age. It was the place was
We just
filled.
did that.
What's that?
I said we just did that. We just did stuff like that. That's wild.
Yeah, it seems like a completely different planet. But that was almost 20 years ago. But yeah, man, I want to try and check them out this summer. I doubt they'll be giving out free packs of cigarettes, but it'd be kind of cool if they did.
If it's back to their roots, then why not? Just add them to the record.
Yeah.
Just send a pack of smokes with the record.
Wonder how many laws they'd be breaking.
For real.
It's back when we were free and unhealthy.
It's merch.
Yeah. So yeah, Black Keys sounds really good. Getting back to the roots on Peaches. That's out in May as well.
That's also a great album name as well.
Yeah. It's probably just something they fell upon.
Mm-hmm. It reminds me of the record crates that have the peaches on the side.
Yeah, it's probably something like that. Because they are down in Nashville now, so they're Southern boys now, right?
They're from the South.
Yeah, we like peaches in the South. Like Eat a Peach from the Allman Brothers. Ooh, that's another band I could go on and on about, for sure. I have a couple more before we sign.
Yeah, keep them rolling.
The band ABRAMS. I just talked to Zach from the rock band ABRAMS out of Denver, Colorado. They have an album out called Loon. The more and more I listen to this record, it's excellent. I recommend everybody check it out. I know we've talked about them before. Yeah, go listen to Loon. It's out on Blues Funeral Recordings, independent label, well-known stoner psych label, very, very good. And those guys are hard workers. They've released a lot of albums. I'm a pretty new fan. I've been a fan for about a year now. Their head is in the right place. Killer album. It's so heavy and melodic all at the same time.
That's fun.
Yeah, definitely recommend it. They're going to be touring the U.S. this year. I don't know the dates off the top of my head, but they are playing DesertFest in, I believe, London very soon as well, and doing a European tour for the first time. A lot going on with those guys. Go out and support ABRAMS. You guys can check them out on Bandcamp. Check out the new album Loon, and then go back and listen to their other catalog too.
DesertFest is such a fun way to just like look at the lineup and be like, oh, I don't know that band. I should check it out. And it's usually pretty solid.
Yeah, well, all the bands that we're talking about, a lot of them have played DesertFest.
Exactly.
I believe all them witches played DesertFest.
I think, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I think Clutch might be playing it this year. I'm not 100% on that, but should be cool. I would love to go to Europe and hit a couple of these festivals. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, and just do the festival circuit for a few weeks, right?
Yeah, that would be an amazing first European vacation because have you been to Europe?
I have. It's been some time, but yeah. I studied in Spain for a bit and I was dating somebody living in Germany for a bit. So had a bit of time.
Yeah. Did you go to music festivals or?
Yeah, I think I went to Rock Werchter, and then I went to some offshoot ones that I don't think exist anymore. I couldn't, even if you pulled my arm, I wouldn't know the name of them anymore. But
as a fan of this kind of music, what's the big difference between an American festival and a European festival through the fan experience?
I haven't gone to many festivals in the United States, but from what I've seen, it feels like it's just more social. I don't know. Like when I went to like Rock Werchter, I made a bunch of friends, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, maybe that's the case here. And I'm just antisocial at in the US or something. Who knows, right? But it seems more communal. And you'll see the dudes who have the half arm of all of the different festivals they've been to. So then people will be comparing like which fests they went to. And
Oh my God, tattoos?
no, as in the little wristbands for the different festivals. So they'll
Okay.
just keep them on throughout the summer, and it'll be like a tally of like the ones that they've been to, right?
It's like a t-shirt here when you see like an All the Witches t-shirt in the wild.
Exactly.
That's how we
Yeah.
call it. Like, nice t-shirt, bro. Usually I only get like, thanks. We don't make friends, but I
Yeah.
wish it was a little more communal that way.
Yeah. It is fun when you meet the fan who is like very excited to be like, oh my gosh, you recognize the
Yeah.
band?
Yeah, yeah.
Blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah.
that is fun.
It's fun.
I'm that guy. I call people out all the time. It's like, cool, name me 10 songs. No, I
Right.
don't do that.
It's interesting working at a venue that it's an all ages venue. So some of the kids will come in wearing vintage rock shirts. I'm like, I've been to that show. I went to that show.
Yeah, back when I was your age. God damn it.
It's like a 15-year-old. I'm like, you weren't even born. Like,
I know, man. Tell me
but
about
it's cool, right? Like, as long as they're listening to music, and they probably got it from their mom or something like that. But it's interesting seeing that stuff cycle around. I'm like, that's not vintage. Oh wait, yeah, it is actually.
God damn it, it is. It's classic rock now.
Exactly.
I'm 49 and my generation, like I was talking to Zach from ABRAMS and he was like, yeah, man, I was super influenced by all the Seattle stuff my dad showed me. I'm like, God.
Cool.
I was like, your dad's cool.
You're like, yeah, me too. Totally.
Like, no, but I mean that the grunge stuff was like my generation's real music. Like before that, I was listening to my brother's stuff, which was sort of the hair band stuff and the Metallicas, and he was listening to a lot of Testament and Overkill and those kind of bands. So I was always hip to that stuff. But the
what a
grunge
shift.
thing,
What a cultural shift, right?
yeah, yeah. The 90s were something, man. You mentioned the Black Crowes, they were coming out. They came out before Nirvana. And then Nirvana came out. And then the Crowes weaved in and out of the grunge scene. They were never a grunge band, but all these bands were just peers and they were like hanging out together. And it was really cool that they're all like coming up at the same time. But to listen to it is sometimes lost on me that there are a couple generations now ahead of or behind me that are like catching up to all this music. And it's like their classic rock. It's the stuff like it's like our Led Zeppelin was to us in the 90s. Like Alice in Chains is like that to them now.
Right.
Which is awesome.
Right.
I'm that old guy. I saw them in 93 for $10.
You still have the ticket stub?
I do. Yeah. I have a lot of tickets. I should post them online. Maybe I will. I do every now and again.
That would be cool.
They're all buried, man. I'm lazy. But I have done that with several. I think I saw like Candlebox in 1993 for $8.50.
Lord. Yeah.
You know?
That's cool.
That kind of shit. So it didn't put us back quite like it does now.
Yeah.
So,
I hope that's coming around with a lot of the Ticketmaster stuff, the Live Nation stuff happening right now. But
yeah.
who's to say?
Do you know anything about that? I saw blips this week that
Only saw blips. Yeah.
I think there's going to be a separate trial to see what they're going to do about it. Fingers crossed that actually something is going to happen. And what we're talking about for people that aren't catching on is Live Nation and Ticketmaster, I believe, both got cited for using monopoly type tactics to overcharge ticket prices. So we've been going through it for a very long time. I don't even go to some of these shows anymore because the price is ridiculous. I can afford a really expensive ticket, but I'm not going to do it on principle because the value just isn't there. Do I get to meet the band? I used to spend money on packages to meet bands,
right?
Hang out with them for an afternoon for $100. I'm just beyond that. I'm not doing this $500,000 ticket bullshit anymore. And it's
right.
I think a lot of people feel the same way. That's why a lot of people are going back more to the clubs and stuff where you can have a nice show and pay a decent amount of money for the band and support them and not go away going, God damn, man, there's nothing they could have done to bring some kind of value for the cash. It's all misaligned. So hopefully this lawsuit will hopefully change things. I can't tell you I'm super optimistic because it's so corporate. And
it's so ingrained. That's the thing. It's a shame.
I'm assuming a lot of special interests are involved too. So
yeah,
we'll see. Maybe something will come up. They need to break these guys up and let them compete.
Yeah. It has been cool to see some bands counter that though. We just had the band Haywire play at X-Ray, which is the venue I work at. And I don't know the full story, but it was essentially like, yeah, we'll be able to make the same amount of money as we would at the bigger venue because you don't take our merch sales, you don't take this, you don't take that, and it's a more equitable way of doing things, right?
Right.
So and then that's an awesome fan experience too, because then like, what are you kidding? You're seeing Haywire at a 275 cap room. That's wild. Like that's a story, right?
Yes, it's a story. There's something you're never going to forget and something you'll tell kids down the line.
Right.
So tell me about this venue really quick. So they don't take merch sales, so they're not these big ticket companies. And
yeah, so it started by it's just a bunch of musicians who just wanted to do it right. So it's an independent venue in Milwaukee. Very similar. They work very closely with Cactus Club, with Garibaldi, like a lot of the other local venues. But they're just cool. I work as a production assistant. And every single time I ask the booker, like, oh, well, why did you split it out like this? He'll be like, oh, well, you have to think about this band is traveling this far and this band is doing that, right? Like there's so much thought put into it. And there's something right. It's good to see, right? Because while we still need to make money, like the artists need to make money too. And if the artists have a good time, they'll come back and then people will come back. It's about creating the atmosphere. But yeah, X-Ray is cool.
And so what you mean by that is if a band's traveling longer distances, then they get a little bit more cash?
Yeah, so if they travel, they usually get a little bit bigger, right? Okay. It's at least considered, unless like maybe the opener brought in a bunch of people, then it's like, well, you brought in half the room, so we should probably pay you a little more, right?
Sure. Right. Yeah, that makes sense. And to have that conversation makes total sense. I've been in many back rooms trying to divvy out cash and trying to be as fair as I can for shows.
Yeah.
Today, so
it's tough, right? Especially since the money isn't there a lot of the times, but like just having that conversation of how to divide it is important, right?
Sure. Yeah, great. Okay. You have to give me the info and I'll follow them and like all their stuff, and we can say obnoxious things in their comments.
Yeah, exactly. To my boss. I love it.
Sarcasm all day long. That's what we do. That's what me and Becky do on Instagram and Facebook. We say weird things, and hopefully people start saying weird things back, man. We need to start.
Exactly. It's what keeps us alive. It's what keeps us going.
It's a free way to support the bands too. Well, hopefully they don't take it the wrong way. We're just
exactly.
So
yeah. I hope not. I hope the engagement helps.
So you're doing the venue thing. I know you're also a writer. Are you currently doing any projects on the writing side of things?
I am. I think I mentioned last time I'm working on that van book. So basically just highlighting women in vanning, in vintage vanning culture, just because they're this backbone, the staple of it. But I have, whenever you start working on a project, that's when another project is like, hey, wouldn't it be fun? So I'm working on another fiction. I wrote a book called Death's Intern Derek, I think 2 years ago now. And I set it up as a sequel because I'm terrible at endings. So I was like, stay tuned. And I just didn't write anything. So now I'm working on that. It's a fun little world. It's fun escapism, right?
Yeah, for sure. I've been trying to read more books.
Nice.
Doing a podcast, I need to expand my vocabulary and get my thoughts like across in a better way. And I think reading and writing is a fantastic way to do that. It really exercises the brain. And there's been a number of years where I barely wrote anything. My handwriting sucks, and that bothers me. There's some missing connection with all these digital tools. So I'm trying to get back into that a little bit. And I've never been a writer, but the more and more I think about it, it's appealing to me the older I get. And I've really been enjoying reading more too.
And I think a lot of people are writers, but they just don't realize it because for whatever reason, like writers are put on a pedestal, even though it's like, all you have to do is just write. Like you just have to sit down and write. But for whatever reason, oh my gosh, you're a writer. It's like, oh, well, you could be too. Like you could sit down and write as well. Like, there's a low barrier to entry, right?
Yeah. It's like writing a song too. You can always, you do whatever you want to do. Even if you can barely play, fuck around, have fun.
Right.
Make some noise. But
it's all about playing, right? And even if it sucks, look at Yoko Ono. She crushed it in her own way, right?
Ooh, crushed it. I don't know about crushing. Maybe
just having fun. She definitely had
bingo. Fun. Yeah, well, I like that better. Yeah. What's your favorite Yoko Ono song?
The one where she's on stage and they have to turn off her mic. That's 100% my favorite.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love Yoko Ono for whatever reason. I think she is awesome. She's such a weirdo, and I love weirdos.
Is it the live extended version of the song?
Yeah.
Damn. We're gonna have to check that out for sure. Oh my God.
I'll add that to my must listens to this year, actually.
Yeah. The live Yoko Ono album. Is it even real? I don't know. It needs to be. And I'm sure there's a recording out there.
There's gotta be.
Final.
There's gotta be something.
Oh my God, horrendous. Yeah.
It's cool.
Wasn't she a visual artist or something before she met John Lennon?
Yeah, I think she was like, was it performance art or was it like installations? It was something like that where
Something like that, yeah. I don't know enough
I don't know,
about
I like the weirdos. So for me, I'm like, oh, sweet. Even if I'm like, ah,
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Weirdos are great.
Yeah.
In the right context, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
Weirdos in the best way. That's what I mean.
Authentic weirdos.
Well, okay, so you got a lot of projects. Do you have anything new that everybody can go check out, and where can they check it out?
They can go to my publishing website, awshuckspub.com. We just published a poetry book that's super cool. It came out in February, but it's still great. So check it out. I re-released my first 2 books recently called I Don't Belong Here. It features our buddies, all them witches in the book. So you should check it out.
Yeah, that's the one I'm definitely going to get. I need to read that.
Yeah.
It's your stories on the road, basically following the band and other things.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Mental health related as a trigger warning, but I love the book, so I hope you do too.
Sure. Right on. Okay, cool. I'll leave that in the show notes. And I guess we'll sign off for now, but we'll do this again. This is fun. I like having you on, and I hope you like coming on. It's fun to just banter. It's a good break from having guests because this podcast, I'm not a public speaker. I'm not a professional speaker in any manner. I'm a musician and a music fan, and I'm going to keep it rough around the edges just like it's always been. I'm going to get this podcast better as I move on, but I want to keep it as authentic as we possibly can, and having people like you on, like-minded people, kindred spirit kind of thing. That's what I want to keep moving forward. So thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. And let's continue that conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always so fun. So thanks for having me on.